All right, a very warm welcome to an update on Mutares, Munich headquartered private equity investor, one of the leading turnaround firms when it comes to private equity special situation investments in Europe. We would like to give you an update on the 2021 figures, which we have just presented today to our shareholders and to the public. So our vision was and is to be one of the leading firms when it comes to turnaround special situations, private equity in Europe. And our vision is to deliver what we promise. So we finished the year 2021 with a turnover of 2.5 billion and the profit level of 50.7 million euros, which is an increase of roughly 50% on both KPIs on our journey towards our mid guidance for 2023, 5 billion in turnover and 100 million of profitability in the holding, which we have given in summer 2020 when we were at 1 billion turnover and 20 million of profitability. And I think we have reached a very good journey until today, and I'm super confident that we will also reach our midterm target, despite the fact that between our guidance was given in 20 and today, we have suffered from things like second wave of COVID, war in Ukraine, or the chip crisis, which impacted the automotive as well. So whatever, and this is important to me, in whatever we do, we walk the talk. What we guide, we need to achieve. What we promise, we need to deliver. When it comes to the detailed highlights 2021, we have closed acquisitions, we have closed exits, and we have signed acquisitions. So with the 14 closed acquisitions, the 2 signed buy-side transactions, the 6 sell-side transactions, I think we are one of the leading and most active private equity investor when it comes to special situations in Europe. The second point is, the second highlight indeed is the increase of our footprint in Europe. We have opened ceremonies for 4 offices. We've opened Stockholm, we've opened Madrid, we've opened Amsterdam, and we've opened Vienna. And we already see a very, very good impact on our pipeline and also on our transaction side in 2021 with those openings. And my strong belief is that a restructuring business is a local business. So you have to be there in order to get a deal. You have to be there in order to know what's going on in the market and finally restructure it. And last but not least, we have conducted capital market transactions. We have conducted an add-on to the bond, but we have preliminarily conducted a 100 million capital increase on the market in Q4 last year. In this 100 million capital increase, we have participated as management with more than 20 million, and we have done an uplisting in the regulated market. We want to be as transparent as possible on our numbers, on our way of doing, of our way of working, so there's nothing to hide and full transparency. So you as the shareholders can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the full transparency of our business model. Going a little bit more in the exits and buy side, I think, where the update is necessary here. So how do we make it an acquisition? How do we make the decision on an acquisition? We as a management team, we always ask ourselves, can we get the return we expect? We expect on every euro we spend, on whatever it is, we expect a 7 to 10 times return. And if we can make this return 7 to 10 times, we also will make the transaction. If we can't, we will not do it. So this is the ultimate trigger of, are we going to do the acquisition? Are we going to do the transaction? And in the exits we have conducted in 2021, we have achieved even beyond that. We have achieved more than 10 times. 2 large exits here to mention. One was STS Group AG, where we sold the majority, which was stock listed in Frankfurt, and Bexity, which was signed in 2021, closed in 2022. A logistic provider in Austria. Very, very fast turnaround in less than 3 years' time. So the exit side, this is the ultimate trigger, how we do investments. And then on the buy side, we have conducted 14 acquisitions. And those acquisitions are in all the segments. And I would like to highlight a few. LMS, which is a business we acquired from Magna, where we also see big buy and build potential in 2022 and onwards. And then we have conducted and closed La Paire, which was the largest transaction of Mutares history. And as I think I mentioned last time in this format here as well, I guess that's the deal of my lifetime. So, and all of this on the buy side comes a lot of times with an investment from us. Not an investment necessarily in purchase price, because we conduct and we get businesses in trouble and we try to fix it. It's a commitment from us. It's a skin in the game question. So on Lapeyre, we injected 20 million in the equity. On LMS, we injected 10 million in the equity. So we do inject money as the seller's prerequisite, and it's a commitment to the company we acquire. And this was around 50 million euros, which we have injected in 2021 in the companies. And this will also continue. With the growth, the more we grow, the bigger we grow, the faster we grow, we will have these commitments into the companies, not necessarily into purchase prices, but into the companies, the commitments. And this will also slightly raise in 2022. I said in our annual call, I do expect that between 50 and 100 million in 2022, after 50 million in 2021. How do we conduct this whole transaction exit buy side development is founded and grounded on 4 pillars. So what do? We are a European player. We invest in Europe. We have our 9 offices in Europe where we do transactions. We invest in 3 segments: automotive, engineering, technology, and goods and services. We invest in companies with a size of 100 to 500 million in turnover, because this is a size where we believe it's a sweet spot. This is the size where we believe we can do the difference with our operational team. We are the best new owner. And then last but not least, there's this, what we call the turnaround heroes. We believe when it comes to special situation, carve-out situation of large corporate, putting them standalone and turning them around, there is no better one in Europe than Mutares. We don't say we are the best, but following a famous coach, football coach who said there is no better one, that is what we believe also for the turnaround. And founded on these segments, founded on these focus, founded on this company size, you see the development of our turnover, ultimate trigger, group turnover, ultimate trigger, profitability of the holding, where we grew from 1 billion when we started our new journey to 2.5 this year, from 22 million to 50 million, and we are up for our midterm guidance of 5 billion and 100 million of profitability. And I'm absolutely sure that this will be achieved. I will give you in a few minutes the outlook for 2022, where we expect to be in 8 months from now. Now, when we have the foundation of the business, European focus, the size, the segments, and we made an acquisition, like the 14 acquisitions we have made, because we have said every euro we put in, we get 7 to 10 times back. That's what we believe. So we make the acquisition, we do the investment of the 50 million, which we have done in 2021. And then the return comes in, the return of the 7 to 10 times. We start with the first phase of return, which is the realignment phase, where we do the restructuring. There, our consultants go in and our consultants help bringing that back on track. And this consulting practice generates a revenue which was 50 million in 2021 and is expected between 70 and 80 million in 2022. This is the first return on investment. The second on return on investment is obviously when the company is doing okay-ish to great, makes profit, is turned around. So then the dividend comes into play. The portfolio dividend, the portfolio pay dividend to the Mutares holding, that's when we call them there in the optimization phase. And then obviously, like we did for STS or for Bexity in 2021, the exits. When we sell a company, of course, there are exit proceeds. And this is the return number 3, which comes out of this. And all of this together, all the 3 returns of consulting fees, portfolio dividends, and exit will lead to a 1.8 to 2.2% profitability on the holding in comparison to the group revenue, which you have also seen on the previous slide, where we have made it from 1 billion to 2.5, from 22 million of profit to 50 million of profit. Looking at our portfolios, looking at our company, you see we have the 3 segments. We have the 3 segments more or less equal in size and more or less equal in number of companies. Now, let me point out, to give you a little bit already towards the outlook, in 2022, we operate in a model where we say we buy companies who are in trouble, we send in our team, we fix the companies, and then we do a buy and build story on the companies. And let me point out 3 companies where I believe there's a great opportunities for a buy and build story. So number 1 is the LMS Group, which is a former Magna business. She acquired last year on the plastic injection molding exterior part. I firmly believe, and this is also what the pipeline reflects at the moment, firmly believe that we have great opportunities to grow this business, to buy and build on the LMS. The second one in the engineering technology is the Balcke-Dürr Group, which you see on the right-hand side. So Balcke-Dürr was a company where we have divested the Rote Mühle business, which was a coal and service business, which we have divested. And now we rearrange and transform the Balcke-Dürr into the new Balcke-Dürr. And we have already started last year by acquiring a business from Toshiba in Italy, which already guided the way towards the new Balcke-Dürr. And then last but not least, on the goods and services, a company like Frigoscandia, cooling logistics in the Nordics, which we acquired and closed in December 2021. Also there, we are already having a good foundation, which is quite strong to build on. And we have a lot of strategic angles here on Frigoscandia to improve the size, improve the profitability, and generate synergies with potential add-ons. So as you can see also from our existing portfolio, we have a lot of buy and build opportunities also in 2022. And as I said, promise and delivery. So I can promise that you will hear from us, especially on the buy and build side in 2022, quite soon. When we look overall at the transaction pipeline is something which I would describe as the biggest one we ever had. So the pipeline at the moment shows 11 million. When we did the last session here with Seat 11 and also on our journey for the capital increase in the Capital Markets Day, the pipeline was lower, was between 8 and 9 billion. Why has it improved? So two things. The first improvement set was predominantly coming from the automotive segment, where we see more and more opportunities coming. And secondly, we just have set up the new offices in Amsterdam and in Vienna. And a lot of the pipeline, which comes in addition, comes from those two offices, which was created by Q4 last year. And now 6 months down the road, we do see very, very strong input from those two new offices. Until this year, or already until now, we have the 12th of April, we have conducted 3 transactions. 2 of them were announced. One of them is not announced yet, but will come soon. But we have already acquired 700 million of turnover with those 3 transactions. And what we want to do is we want to do 1 transaction per month. That has not changed in the last years, has not changed in 2021, has not changed in 2020, where we always achieved it. And I'm very certain we will also achieve it in 2022. On the exit side, out of the 25, we have 4 companies currently in an exit process, different stages. The first one I expect to be transacted in Q2, and the last one I'll expect to be transacted in Q4. But we have 4 live exit processes where I'm very confident, despite all the circumstances in the world right now, that we will be able to transact on the exit side as well until year end in 2022. And then to summarize it, and I think when you look at the numbers and when you look at the outlook and when you see what we promised and what we delivered over the last 3 years of leadership here, I think here numbers and actions speak louder than words. The guidance 2022, we want to raise from 2.5 to 4 billion minimum, and we want to raise from 50.7 million of profit to 72 to 88 million in holding profit on our way to the 5 billion and the 100 million profit in the holding. We have promised to open Helsinki and Eastern Europe in 2022. Helsinki is already done as of today. Eastern Europe is in motion and will be opened in this year. And then we will try to see also the opportunity if we can pilot our business model in America. So thank you very much for staying with us in 2021. I think it was a great ride we had together. A big thank you to my team. I think this is our biggest asset, our people, and they have done an absolute brilliant job to bring Mutares to this level and beyond, because 2022 will be, as promised, even the next step to come to 4 billion and in the range of 80 million of profitability. And this is a wonderful journey, thinking of coming from 1 billion and 20 million in 2019, which was not long ago. So thank you very much to my team. Thank you very much to the stakeholders and shareholders. 2021 was brilliant, but as you can see, we're already working full speed in 2022. And I think in the last annual meeting, I said I recommend to fasten your seatbelt because we are here on a speedy roller coaster ride. And I would remain that statement, and I would recommend to keep fasten the seatbelt because 2022 will be even more attractive than 2021. Thank you very much. Happy Easter. Thank you.
Since you watched this company video until the end, I'm guessing you like the video. That's probably because we work very hard to create the most engaging and value-added content possible for you. If you're a stock-listed company or corporation and want to find out how we at C11A can make a company video with and about you, please email us at community@c11a.com.